Hey guys, it's your girl Naya Latte, and you are tuning in to the new episode of Girl Chat. Sorry that I've been away, you guys. I've been kind of busy. Work has been killing the fuck out of me. Literally, I work 60 hours a week, so forgive me, loves, but I definitely will try to post more often. I wanted to talk to you guys today about kind of something that Aaron and I have been having conversations about. So today we're really going to talk about size. And I know there's been the age-old question when it comes to dick, especially if size really matters. So I know that everyone kind of has their different opinions, different debates. And I know over the years, some people say size doesn't matter because, it could be long and super skinny, or it could be short and thick. But some people say, like, I need a real big dick. And then other people are like, no, it's fine. So I want to talk about size in a sense of, like, all the dimensions. So you guys know I have my usual criteria. And for me, I would say, here's how I classify if a dick is small. So to me, basically, if your penis looks like my fucking pinky, or if it looks like my big toe, I'm going to classify that shit as small. Mostly because by the looks of it, let's be real. If I put my pinky inside of my pussy, I'm going to feel the tip a little bit, but it's not going to get in very deep. It's not going to get very far, and it definitely won't please me. The same thing if someone was to put their toe inside of someone's hole. Like, clearly, you're not going to feel it. You might feel it on entry, but it's not going to get any far. So I would definitely say I don't want something that small. But in terms of like a nice size, I would say a nice size one is I'm going to use the old theory of the Comcast remotes. So not when it was not Xfinity, back when cable was like originally like Comcast. It had a nice length, and the width was pretty good. I want to say it's about 2 to 4 inches wide, probably. I think that's a good width because you feel it. It's hitting all the walls correctly, and let's just say it's going to give you some push. It's going to give you a little bit of pushback. As far as length, I definitely want to say there is a such thing as too long of a dick. I know for a fact that I don't want to feel something deep inside my fucking like appendix or my fucking lower intestine. Like, I know that shit is entirely too fucking long. However, if I was to feel something just kind of, I want to say at least what it feels like is, I want to say if it's kind of feels like it's in my lower back, you're probably long enough. Definitely long enough. I know we were talking about previously, just conversations, if I ever had one, like who was one that I think was too small. So I'm not going to put anyone on blast per se, because, some of my listeners are people who've been with me before, but I actually have had one that was entirely like small. So it was this guy. We're going to call him D. So we're going to just call him D. And D had a nice, like, the width was cool. Like, it was wide, it was fat, but it was short. So, like, I felt it, but, like, it couldn't go anywhere. And I'm sitting there moaning, and I'm saying, like, harder, deeper. And he's like, oh, I am deep in it. And I'm just sitting there with the stupid face, because, let's just say caves were deeper. Maya Angelou was deeper in all her poems than that man wasn't me. So I definitely don't think that was long enough. But on the flip side, I have had a too long one before. This guy, we're going to call him Terrence. That's not his real name, but we're going to call him Terrence. And Terrence is definitely one that had a huge one. Like, it wasn't thick. So definitely one I would say was entirely too long for me. So definitely one I would say was entirely, like, way too fucking long. Upon entry, felt it in my fucking large intestine. Like, that's how long it was. So I definitely think that's too long. I think you need one that's right in the middle. So one that's like kind of fat, like mid-length, and I guess it has to have curvature, because I mean, for those of you that haven't discovered it yet, the G-spot is kind of like if you take two fingers, put them deep inside of you, and then kind of like hook it. So like that's where the G-spot is, and I think I definitely need a dick that curves. Like, it has to curve. I has to be able to hit all the spots the right way. I think that's why length and width also kind of contribute to it. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on size. I kind of also wanted to get into a little bit about how you use it. So I used a strap for the first time, I want to say like a year ago. It's been like a little bit over a year and a half. And I really did. Men, I applaud you guys, because all these years women talk about stroke game and how he moving and how he, digging in it. And I was one of those girls that was like, yeah, his stroke game weak, or his stroke game gotta be fucking tight. And then I actually used one and realized that shit's complicated. Like, you gotta hold yourself up, move your hips, and like hope to God you don't fall, but then you gotta keep the momentum going and position yourself correctly. Like, I couldn't be a man. Not that I'm trying to be one, but I really couldn't be one, because that shit would be complicated. Like, I really can't imagine just trying to position yourself and digging the pussy, and it's just like, it's too much. This shit's like doing Zumba. I'm telling you, it's like doing Zumba. So, all you men out there, I respect it. I definitely respect the fact that you guys put a lot of effort into sex. Like, you get the right angles, the right fucking trajectory. That shit's like it's really like doing architecture and a mixture of fucking geometry. Like, you gotta hit an angle, you gotta come up with a plan, you kind of gotta know what your next move is, do what feels great. And for me, all I'm worried about is not falling. Like, literally, I'm worried about not falling, not busting my ass, and not hurting myself and not slipping. Because for me, during sex, if I get injured, that's the end of it. Like, if I fall, hurt my toe, get a splinter, get a cramp, or a Charlie horse, like, that's basically it. That mood toe kill for me. So, I definitely will say that the stroke game is a lot more important than I really understand. Like, guys, I really didn't give you men enough credit, because I, as a person who tries it on a regular, can't do it. Doesn't suit me well. But I definitely just kind of wanted to give you guys just a little blurb for today. I know this episode is drastically short. Again, bitches are exhausted from work. So I promise that I will upload more. And definitely, guys, give me feedback. Let me know what it is you want to talk about. If you have questions you want answered, I guess I'll do like a Q&A segment. But definitely join me on my next episode. Coming soon. Again, I'm using the Anchor.fm app, so you guys can always subscribe and get notifications when I post new episodes. If you guys also want to hear more feedback and get more involved in conversation, don't forget to follow me at Nah.Latte on Instagram. And this podcast is also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course right here where it's locked and loaded, Anchor.fm. Again, guys, it's been your girl Nah Latte, and this has been Girl Chat. Until then, I will see you guys next time.